Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So we are studying the Bhagavad Gita, the 13th chapter, and we are going to do the 15th verse today, if I'm not wrong. Yes. In these verses, Sri Krishna is answering a question which Arjuna has asked. From the 12th verse to the, I think it's the 18th. Yes. Arjuna had asked 6 questions, which are answered in this chapter, the 13th chapter. The 6 questions are the field and the knower of the field, kshetra, kshetrakya. Then there is what is knowledge and what is to be known, jnanam, jneyam. And then what is spirit and what is nature, prakriti, purusha. It's basically the same question repeated 3 times, 2 sets, 3 sets of 2 pairs each. Field and knower of the field. The field is everything, and you are the knower of the field. Jnanam and jneyam, sort of variation on that. What is knowledge and what is to be known. And prakriti and purusha, spirit and nature. Again, like the field and the knower of the field. So the 4th question is, what is it to be known? What are we trying to realize, or what are we trying to know here? Jneyam means knowable, or the thing to be known. Not knowable, the thing to be known. Thing to be known is the ultimate reality. Atman or Brahman, our real nature of ourself, or the ultimate reality of the universe, Brahman. The subject matter of all the Upanishads, that is the thing to be known. What is to be known, what is to be realized. So from verse number 12 to verse number 18, it's a beautiful sequence. Very soaring, very sublime. It's basically the central theme of the Upanishads has been set out here in these verses. Wonderful description. We have done a few of these verses. We are on the 15th verse now. We're going to start the 15th verse now. You can repeat after me if you like. Bahir antaśh bhūtānām, Bahir antaś bhūtānām, acharaṁ charamevacha, acharaṁ charamevacha, sūkṣhmatvāt avijñeyaṁ, sūkṣhmatvāt avijñeyaṁ, dūra-sthaṁ chāntike chatat, dūra-sthaṁ chāntike chatat. It is without and within all beings. It is moving and unmoving. Being subtle, it is incomprehensible. It is far yet near. So, it's both inside and outside. It's in all beings, moving and unmoving. It is at the same time very far and very, very near. This language of contradiction. One of the ways in which one can express, in Vedanta, expresses the inexpressible. That which cannot be expressed by language, Vedanta does that by using the language of contradiction. There are different ways, different strategies that Vedanta uses. The Upanishads and other Vedantic texts use different strategies to express that which cannot be expressed by language. How do you say that which cannot be said? One way is not this, by denying what can be said. See, if you cannot express it by speech, then use speech to deny the stuff which can be said. You can say that it is not this. So this is the way of negation, via negativa. So the way of negation. Another way you used is contradictory language. It moves not. It's further than the farthest, nearer than the nearest. Now, usually contradictory language is meaningless. But here it's not meaningless. There is a very clear meaning, which the enlightened one immediately understands. And it's supposed to point us towards that meaning, which cannot be expressed by speech, and yet it's a very clear meaning. We will see. Here he uses this language, Bahir, antaśh, bhūtānām, of all beings. That ultimate reality in all beings, it is inside and outside, within us and without, all around, everywhere. What does that mean? Within us and outside us. It is in all beings, the moving and the unmoving, living and non-living. Actually, moving and unmoving, in Sanskrit, charam and acharaṁ means among the living, there are some which are fixed, sthavara, and some which are moving, jangama. So there's a tree that is fixed, and there is a bird which flies and sits on the tree for a while. That's moving. But you can also extend it to living and non-living. In all beings it is there. And it is very far indeed. Okay? And it's very, very near. And finally he says, because it's very subtle, it is unknowable. Avijñeyaṁ, unknowable. Now, we will see. And don't be disappointed by that unknowable. It's not unknowable. It's in fact far more accessible than anything that is knowable. But we'll see. We'll get there. Let's take it step by step. Bahir, antaśh, bhūtānām, of all beings, for us, for example. He says, where is that ultimate reality? It's within you. Okay? And it's outside you. It's everywhere, in fact. This within and inside and outside, we know that ultimate reality is consciousness. We have been talking about it again and again in these classes. Consciousness in itself, not consciousness with an object, but consciousness by itself. And when you say it is within you, we understand, because we all feel that we are conscious. So we are pointed back towards our own self as consciousness. Consciousness, which is our own self. We are pointed back, and we understand how it is that within us it's there. But how is it outside? Because the only place where we find consciousness is in ourselves. I find it, I am conscious. But outside, I don't find consciousness. Outside means even this body, at the most I can say up to the limits of this body, it feels conscious. I am aware. But everything else seems to be an object to my consciousness. I don't feel that I, the consciousness, am here all around, let alone far beyond also. Vedanta says consciousness is all-pervasive. The Atman, Brahman is all-pervasive. Just that it is specifically, it is more manifest in a mind. That's why we feel our own consciousness, that we are conscious within, in our minds. That's where we feel conscious. I am aware, just notice, I am aware within myself. This is the closest thing that I feel to myself is my own consciousness. But that consciousness is all-pervasive, just manifest more in the mind. There's light here, all around. But look, when I lift my hand, it shines. Not that the hand itself has light. Two things here. The hand itself does not have light. The light which is here is now reflected by this hand. Okay? And not only is it reflected by the hand, outside the hand, here also, there is light. See, here also. It's there, you can't see it. But you can see this light, you can sort of appreciate this light because it's being reflected off a reflecting surface. If I remove the reflecting surface, the light, exactly the same light is still here, just it's not appreciable. In the same way, consciousness is all that there is, according to Vedanta, that's the claim. Only when you have particular reflectors, like minds, there you feel conscious. That particular mind feels conscious. Outside, in another way if you put it, Vedanta, Atman or Brahman is existence also. It's not only just consciousness, also existence. So all names and forms, whatever we experience in this world, all that we experience outside, so-called, all names and forms, they manifest existence. And among all names and forms, the minds are particular names and forms which not only manifest existence, but they manifest consciousness. But the claim is, this existence consciousness, this Atman, this Brahman, is everywhere, is all-pervasive. So what have I said here? The claim here is that ultimate reality is inside and outside. So far we have been talking about the Atman as consciousness. And when you say consciousness is inside, understandable. We all agree. But what would it mean that consciousness is out there? I can see people out there, places and things out there. And there are many things far away which I don't even see at all. So what does it mean consciousness is everywhere? And the answer was, Well, Vedanta claims consciousness is everywhere, but the reason that we particularly feel consciousness in our minds, in ourselves, especially in our minds, is this question of manifestation. It becomes more obvious in the mind. And outside, if you were forced, but how do we appreciate that there is that Atman or Brahman everywhere? But Atman or Brahman is defined as not only consciousness, as also existence. And that you find everywhere. All things exist. And Vedanta twists that, instead of saying things exist, you say existence appears as things. Instead of saying that the table and the chair have wood, it's more correct to say wood has got the form and the name and the function of a table and a chair. Wood is the reality here. So existence is the reality which has the names and forms, which appears as all these names and forms. This is just a preliminary answer. Inside and outside. It's there everywhere, inside and outside. Let's go deeper. This idea of inside and outside, it comes from body identification. It is very relative. What is inside and outside? Right now, if you say inside, are we inside? Yes, we are inside the... I am inside the Vedanta society. Correct. I am not outside the Vedanta society. But with respect to the chair, well, I'm outside the chair. I'm not inside the chair. So, inside and outside. We are inside the Vedanta society, and the street is outside the Vedanta society. But the street is inside Manhattan. It's not outside Manhattan. And what's outside Manhattan? Somebody said, certainly not civilization. Civilization stops at the Hudson. What's outside Manhattan? Well, Brooklyn and Bronx and Queens and the whole of the United States and the whole of the world, that's outside. But this Brooklyn and Bronx and New York, they're all inside the United States, not outside. Outside is the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean and Canada, so far. So that's outside. So you notice, if you look at space itself, all this inside and outside, these are imaginary boundaries that we have put up. Where is the actual boundary? Just relative to a boundary, then we say something is inside, something is outside. But those boundaries, you can keep shifting. Like that, when we identify ourselves with one body, this body, then it seems that the world is outside me. And inside me are my organs, my kidney and my heart and my lungs. That's inside me. If I'm a little more subtle and identify myself with the mind, then I can say, well, the world, everything is outside. Even my body is outside me. But inside me are my thoughts, my ideas, my desires, my memories. That's inside me. That's identification with the mind. Notice, as we shift the boundaries of our identification, the conception of inside-outside shifts. What Vedanta says is this. All of this inside and outside, all of space, all of time, and all things are actually appearances in consciousness. Even space itself. What do you mean space is an appearance in consciousness? I have mentioned this earlier also. This was something I heard, so it was brilliant. Vedanta class was going on. This is in India, in the foothills of the Himalayas in Haridwar. And Vedanta class is going on, and somebody asks from the back. The Swami is teaching, somebody asks from the back. So the Swami is saying, you are all pervasive, sarvavyapi. You're all pervasive consciousness. Just like this, inside and outside, you're all pervasive. And that person asks from the back, just a minute. How am I all pervasive? I'm here, I'm not even there. You're there, you're not even here. How am I all pervasive? I'm just here. मैं यहाँ हूँ, वहाँ नहीं हूँ. सर्वव्यापी कैसे हुआ? And the answer from the Swami was, but this here and there, are they not both within you? यहाँ और वहाँ, क्या दोनों ही आप में नहीं है? What do you mean? Some of you are looking mystified. Some of the more veterans of Vedanta are looking, yeah, that's very clear. Here and there are both within me. What does it mean? Think about it. In a dream, suppose I'm walking in a garden, and I say, here is a beautiful flower, and there far away is the sky. But when I wake up, here and there. Both would be within me because I imagined the whole thing. Even what seemed very close to me and what seemed very far from me. This and that. Both are appearances in me, the dreamer. Is that not true? Exactly like that, Vedanta is claiming this whole experience of space, whole experience of time, and of this wide universe of objects are all appearances in consciousness. So space, relative to the body, here and there. That's relative to the body. But both here and there are appearing in you, the consciousness. So that's the claim. Inside and outside are both appearances in consciousness. Consciousness is not inside or outside. Rather, inside and outside are both appearances in consciousness. In a dream, we also have a sense of inside and outside. As I said, the example of I'm walking in a garden, I'm seeing this in a dream, I'm not aware it's a dream. I'm walking in a garden and I see a beautiful flower. What do I feel? I am here, the flower is outside. By the way, today is National Rose Day, I think. Somebody told me it's National Rose Day. So there's a rose outside. There are roses here, yes. So it's outside, clearly. And I am, and whatever in the body is inside. And that's outside. But if it's a dream and I wake up from a dream, after waking up, what will I realize? I, the person who saw the flower and the flower, are both inside my mind or are both appearances in my mind. They were both dreamt up by me, the dreamer. It's not that I was there was a dream world, I was there and some things were outside me and some things were inside. No, the entire experience of inside and outside in the dream was actually in a sense, in the dreamer. What Vedanta says is, in you the one consciousness, which is irrefutable. The first fact that we know about ourselves is, I am aware. Now follow this carefully. You the one consciousness. This consciousness which is irrefutable, does not require Vedanta. Usually we don't think about it, but just point it out. Here, you are conscious. Are you not right now? Yes. This consciousness is limitless. This consciousness is infinite. It is limitless. This is the teaching of Vedanta. Whole Vedanta is this. That's finished. You, the awareness right now, you are limitless. What does it mean, limitless? You are not located in space. That you are only in this place and not in other places. Rather, space is located in you. Or space is appearing in you. You are not located in time. That you are consciousness. Yes, I am consciousness, but just for the time being, very soon I'm going to fall asleep. If you tell me any more about consciousness, I'm going to lose consciousness. I am limited in time. I'm limited in space. And limited in object. Limited in object means there are so many things apart from me. Vedanta reverses that. Vedanta says, you the consciousness. You are not limited in time, space and object. What does it mean? It means this. Let's use the let's use a simple example which is very common to Vedanta, which is the clay pot. A pot made of clay. Now I'm going to bring in some heavy-duty Vedanta into this. I'm just translating a phrase used in Sanskrit. Desha kala vastu paricheda rahita. Devoid of space, time and object limitation. You, the consciousness, are devoid of space, time and object limitation. In order to understand that very abstract sounding thing, let's use the clay and pot example. A pot, let's just consider a pot made of clay. Now, space limitation. The clay in that pot, is it limited to a particular space in the pot? There's a pot. Is it that only one part of the pot is made of clay? And at other spaces in the clay, there is no in the pot there is no clay? Not at all. If you see the pot through and through, everywhere in the pot, it's just clay. The top, bottom, inside, outside, all around. It's clay. So the whole space of the pot is clay. Clay pervades every bit of that pot. Similarly, the assertion is that consciousness, the existence awareness which you are, you pervade everything that in this universe. Every space. No space is left out. There's no space in this universe which is other than you, because all of space is an appearance in you. Exactly like that. Dream. You can use homework, dream example. In your dream, is there any space in that garden which I'm experiencing in the dream? I'm walking in the garden. The example of dreaming about a garden. I'm walking in the garden, and there's a whole space, a big garden, and also beyond this, the vast sky. Is there any space there in that garden where I am not? I, the dreamer. Is there any space in the dreamt garden where I am not? No. But what does it feel like? It feels I am here, looking at this rose. And the other places I am not. I'm only here. But when I wake up, I'll realize the whole of the dream space was pervaded by me. In fact, it was imagined in me, the dreamer. Time. Is there any time in the lifetime of the pot when it is not clay? No. The entire life of the pot is pervaded by clay. All the time. It has to be, because it's made of clay. If at any point in the pot's career, the clay withdrew, the pot would disappear, because it's made of clay. I'm just illustrating a subtle philosophical concept this way. So the clay is not limited by time in the framework of the pot's time. Similarly, in the dream, is there any time in the dream, during the dream, any time in the dream, that you, the dreamer, are not there? No, you have to be there. But what does it feel like? You're nowhere. In the dream, the dreamer is nowhere. I am there, the guy who's walking in the garden, the rose is there. That which is actually not there is appearing, and that which is actually there, the dreamer, is not appearing. But the dreamer is there throughout the time of the dream, because otherwise it's impossible. If at one point the dreamer woke up, the dream cannot continue. So dreamer pervades the dream time. Similarly, the assertion is, you, the one consciousness, you pervade all the time of this universe. You're not limited to one particular time. These are extremely big claims. But first we must understand, these are not proofs, these are claims. But we must first understand the claim itself. Third, object limitation. Is there any part of the pot, the object pot, which is other than clay? The clay pot, is it other than clay? No. Every bit of the pot is made of clay. It is clay only, not even made of clay. It's not that there's a pot and then you fill some clay into it. No. It is just clay through and through. The pot is clay through and through. Is there anything in the dream other than you, existing separately, independently of you, the dreamer? Does the rose which appears in the dream, is it different from me, the dreamer? No. Every object in the dream is nothing but, it's not different, it's not an independent existence apart from you, the dreamer. Therefore, the clay is not limited in space, the pot space, is not limited in time, the pot time. It's not limited by any object. The pot does not limit the clay. Every bit of the pot is the clay. Similarly, the dreamer is not limited into any particular space in the dream space, is not limited into particular time within the dream time, is not different from, or the objects in the dream are not different from the dreamer. This is called not being limited in time, space, object. All of this which I said is one term used in Sanskrit, anantam, unlimited. This is the meaning of unlimited. And the claim is just like the clay with regard to the pot, just like the dreamer with regard to the dream, you, the consciousness, are with regard to this universe which you experience in consciousness. This is the claim. Desha kala vastu parichheda rahita, devoid of limitation of space, time, object. What? You. Which you? You, the consciousness, which is not subject to any kind of doubt. Nobody can doubt it. Even to doubt it, it's called vadato vyaghata. You refute yourself the moment you make that assertion. I doubt whether I'm conscious. If I say that, just by saying it, you have refuted it. Saying it refutes, self-refutation. It's like, I can't speak. I just said it. You have refuted it. Refuted yourself. Similar to say, I am not conscious. You have refuted. So, you, the consciousness, are like this. Therefore, inside and outside. Bahir, antaśh, bhūtānām, of all beings which you experience, pervading all space, all time, all objects. And therefore, he says, inside and outside. Bahir, antaś, bhūtānām. Another way of putting it. Sajātiya vijātiya swagata bheda rahita. Consciousness is devoid of difference of the same kind, difference of different kinds, and difference, internal difference. What does it mean? Sajātiya bheda. Is there, Sajātiya means, okay, let me give examples. So two trees. One is an apple tree, one is a mango tree. So both are trees, but they belong to different categories. And there are two apple trees. So the two apple trees are of the same species, but they are two distinctly. So this is called a difference between one apple tree and another apple tree. Is the difference of the same kind. The difference between one apple tree and a mango tree, or let's say something wildly different, like a rock. The difference between an apple tree and a rock is called a difference of different kind. Two things which are of different kinds. And within the apple tree, there are branches, and there are apples, and there's a root, and there is a stem, a trunk, parts, internal difference. This is called difference within the same thing. So three kinds of difference. Three kinds of difference. Two things which are of the same kind, but there are two in number. 2 apple trees, 4 apple trees, or 10 apple trees. But they're all apple trees, but they're all different from each other because they are different apple trees. That's difference of the same kind. Difference of different kinds. Apple tree and a rock. And difference within the same entity. The branches and the apples and the roots of the apple tree. Now what is being claimed here is consciousness is devoid of these three kinds of difference. There is no difference of the same kind. That means there are no two consciousnesses. Like two apple trees, there are no two consciousnesses. Difference of different kind. There is nothing other than consciousness, like apple tree and rock. Nothing other than consciousness. And internal difference, like the roots and branches and apples in an apple tree. There are no parts in consciousness. Consciousness is entirely homogeneous. It's just light shining. To understand this, again take up the clay and pot example and the dream example. Then we can apply it to our world right now. Clay and pot example. In the pot, with respect to the clay, are there two different clays? Suppose it's the same clay which has been used. No, because you might say, why not? Well, because you cannot demarcate. If you demarcate, the line of demarcation is also clay. So on this side is also the same clay, on this side is the same clay. Is there anything other than difference of different kind? Is there anything other than clay in the pot? No, it's just made of clay. It's clay through and through. That clay which constitutes the pot, in that clay, are there differences, internal differences? You might say, why not? Why not? There's an outside of the pot, there's an inside of the pot, there's a top of the pot. They are parts of the pot, they're not parts of clay. Like this, there's a table made of wood here. Does it have internal differences? Immediately we'll say, of course, there are 4 legs of the table, there's a top of the table, there's a bottom of the table. Of the table. This bottom and top and the 4 legs do not belong to the wood. Proof? Suppose you smash the table. I mean, don't, but suppose you smash the table. Will the wood still retain top and bottom and 4 legs? No. They belong to the table. They are parts of the table, definitely. But they are not parts of wood, never were. But what does it look like? It looks like there are internal differences and parts. So similarly, in the clay pot or table wood example, the claim is in consciousness, there is no other consciousness. In consciousness, there is nothing other than consciousness. In consciousness, there are no internal differences. Now, the dreamer example is even more sophisticated and more powerful. In the dreamer and the dream, consider the dreamer, you are the dreamer, and this is a dream. Suppose I am dreaming, and this is my dream, and I am here, I am seeing the roses. Now, are there differences of the same kind? And so you might say, yeah, I am there, and there are other people here. But no, with regard to the dreamer, there is no other dreamer in the dream. There's only one dreamer who appears as all of these people. Second, is there any kind of difference of different kind? You might say, yeah, it looks like that. I am there, and there's a different thing called a rose. It's different from me. I'm a human being. That's a rose. So there are different kinds of things here. But with respect to the dreamer, I and the roses, they're all nothing but me, the dreamer. All the variety appearing in the dream are actually one thing. What is that one thing? The dreamer. Now, are these things in the dream, are they part of the dreamer? Like there are 10 roses there. So there are 10 parts of the dreamer. There are 100 people here. There are 100 parts of the dreamer. Are they components of the dreamer? Not at all. You understand what I mean? They are not parts of the dreamer. No more than if you see 100 buildings in a movie, those 100 buildings are not parts of the movie screen. Their appearances in the movie screen is one. Similarly, that one consciousness is devoid of internal difference, difference of different kinds, and difference of the same kind. There is no second consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness. And all the objects which appear in consciousness are nothing but consciousness. They are not parts of consciousness. Therefore, inside and outside, it's the same reality. That is one consciousness, except that it appears so different. The difference appears. The difference in appearance does not mean that there's difference in reality. Difference within a dream does not mean that there's difference in waking, in the dreamer. Right. So an appearance of difference can continue with an underlying oneness. I can experience the world in all its diversity, in all its ups and downs. Later we'll take it up. Remember the question. In all its diversity, in all its ups and downs, all its vicissitudes, I can experience this world, knowing it all the time to be one limitless light. Just light shining. That is what is meant by inside and outside. Bahir, antaśh, bhūtānām. Inside and outside, all beings is this one consciousness, is this one existence awareness. Then he goes on to say, charam, acharaṁ evacha. In all the living beings, the moving and the unmoving, the tree and on which the bird sits, the moving, and the tree which is unmoving. Or you can extend it further, living things and non-living things. In all beings it is the same. One consciousness in all beings. The bodies are different. Even the internal subtle body, the mind is, different capacities are there in different living beings. But the one existence, one awareness, is the one presence is always there. Charam, acharam, in the changing and the unchanging, in the moving and the unmoving. See, moving also. The moving is a part of the name and form. The moving is a part of the bodies. Moving is a part of the appearance, not in the background consciousness. It's like the light itself. So there's light, and it's reflected from the hand. The hand is a name and a form, and the light is reflected from that. What does the light do for the hand? It illumines the hand. You can see the hand because of the light. What does the hand do for the light? It manifests the light. See, if I remove the hand, the light is right there. You don't see it. It manifests the light. Now look at the magic. I am moving the hand. But the light is also moving. Light is also moving. Yeah? Light by itself is not moving. It is the motion of the hand which is mistaken for movement in the light. And the meaning of this is, I feel as a conscious being, so many things are changing and I'm experiencing so much change. I'm going from place to place, obviously. I'm passing through time. There was a past, there's a present, and there's a future coming before me. I myself am undergoing so many changes. I was a kid, then a young person, then a middle-aged person, then an old person. So many changes. I am going through change. Change is quite obvious to me. And Vedanta says, no. The change is in the appearance. In you there is no change. In all the so-called changing and the so-called unchanging, you're the one unchanging factor, one light shining. Shankaracharya gives an example of the boat in the river. I actually have experienced that while crossing the river, the Ganga in front of Belur Math, our main monastery. So I have experienced that while if you go in the boat, at a certain point, suddenly in the middle of the river, suddenly you see, look at the monastery, you find the temple is moving, the trees are moving, the pathways and the gardens are moving, and you are still. That's not true. It's the boat which is moving. The movement of the boat is seemingly transferred on the unmoving bank, the shore. And Shankaracharya gives exactly this example. What does this mean? You, the consciousness, are not undergoing any change. It just feels like you are going through lots of changes. Lots of things are happening. No, they are happening, they are as an appearance in you. The appearance is appearing to you and in you, but you are not changing. It's because of the changes in the body that I, the consciousness, I feel I was young, then I got older, I was healthy, then I got sick, I was fit, then I got overweight. That's all the body. The body, the prana, that changes. Mind. So I was so peaceful, now I am so restless. That's the mind. I was so relaxed and happy, now I'm so depressed. That's the mind. The consciousness is constant, same. It was not depressed. It was not even happy. It was always happiness itself or peace itself. That's when the Bible says the peace that passeth understanding. Literally the peace that shines beyond the mind. So it is the mind which goes through changes. I know of this monk who had this experience while coming to the monastery. He had come from a long journey in a train, and then he got down in at a local railway station, got into a rickshaw, and he was on the rickshaw coming to the monastery in a busy street full of people and cows and stray dogs and little, there's no English equivalent, the auto rickshaw. So it's a very busy day. In the middle of that, and he's on a rickshaw, suddenly he felt an utter stillness. And he felt that as if all that had gone in the last 1 or 2 days of long distance traveling by train, and right now what was happening, it's all revolving around one still consciousness. All of that is passing through. He is not going through change. He, the consciousness, is not going through this change. Rather, the change is appearing. It is the movement of these appearances which is superimposed on me. And that's why I felt as if I am going along on this rickshaw. No. It's the rickshaw, the body, names and forms outside, thoughts in the mind, all of them are passing in consciousness. That's what, and it seems they are transferring their movement to consciousness. And I feel I am changing, I am moving. In the moving and unmoving, one light. Near and far. You can understand it at deeper and deeper levels. Near and far, well, near, this is one consciousness, I am here itself. And then, if you look at Vedanta as Brahman as existence, whatever is far from here, across the oceans, across space, across the galaxy, if it exists, then existence is there already. So it is in the near and in the far, it's the same existence. Or if you take a better example, a deeper example, the dream example, no matter whatever is near and whatever is far, you, the dreamer, are there. In the dream, it doesn't seem to be. In the dream, it seems to be, I am here, and these things are near me, and all that is far from me. And there's the moon and stars, which are really, really very far away from me. But if I wake up from the dream, what will happen? All that seemed near and all that seems far, they're all within me, the dreamer. They all appeared in me. Similarly, here he says, Krishna says, dūra-sthaṁ chāntike chatat. That reality exists near and far. One level, this seems very profound, but this is just the beginning. 3 levels of analysis. Second level of analysis is actually this near and far depends on space, and space itself is an appearance in you, the consciousness, which we just talked about. And therefore, whatever seems near is in space, which is in you, or appearing in you. Whatever is far is far in space, but which is appearing in you, therefore not far from you. This is the second level of analysis. What is the first one? No matter whatever is near and whatever is far, existence is experienced everywhere. Suppose there is something very, very far away, unknown, in some distant galaxy. Does it exist? You said, yes. But I don't know anything about it. It doesn't matter. If it exists, existence is there. And this existence is Brahman, Sat, being itself. And you are that Sat. The second level of analysis is, even the so-called near and far is imagined or is an appearance in you, the consciousness. Do you see the difference between the first and the second? The first one, we are assuming space is there, like this. But even if it is there, whatever is far away is existing in existence. It's in existence. So, existence is there. In the second level of analysis, even the so-called categories of near and far are imaginary, because space itself is an appearance in you, the consciousness, like a dream example. Third level of analysis. This is a different way of looking at it. Shankaracharya, he says in his commentary here, and also where these ideas have come from, Ishopanishad. There Shankaracharya, and here also he says, it is near to the one who knows and far from the one who does not know. Brahman, the ultimate reality which we are talking about here, which is called avijñeyaṁ, what is to be known, that is very far from the one who does not know, who has not realized. It seems very distant, it seems very abstract. And to the one who knows, it's most obvious, all the time available, choicelessly, effortlessly available, all the time, everywhere available, as your own innermost reality, and as that which is experienced in everything. So near, in fact, nearer than the nearest. What are you? Are you near to yourself? You'll say, no, nearer than the nearest. I am the closest. I, myself, am closest to myself. You are near me, you are far from me. But these clothes are nearer to me. This body is nearer to me. These thoughts are even very close. They are just me, or just very, very close to me. And I, the awareness, am nearest of the near. I am that. So nearer to me, nearest to me, if you know, if you realize what Brahman is, the ultimate reality is. And further than the furthest. So abstract, so vague, so weird, contradictory language. I don't get it. What are they talking about? Seems very far away for those who do not know. That's the third meaning. It is nearer than the nearest and further than the furthest. Having said all this, what are we talking about? That which is to be known. Avijñeyaṁ. Having said all this, Krishna says, tad avijñeyaṁ. It cannot be known. Sūkṣhmatvāt tad avijñeyaṁ. It is not an object of knowledge. It cannot be known. Why not? It's startling. The whole of the verse points in the opposite direction. It is saying it is that which is inside and outside, everywhere. So why can't it be known? Why can't it be seen? Why can't it be experienced? It's everywhere. And it is in all the moving and the non-moving, in all the living and the non-living. Why can't it be experienced? Here are the living and the non-living. Here, the living being and this chair, non-living being. Why can't it be experienced? It's here. And it is far, far away and it's very near, nearer than the nearest. So why can't it be experienced? The way the rest of the verse is going, making it is absolutely obvious. It's everywhere, all the time. And it is in you. So why can't it be experienced? That which is everywhere, that which is all the time, that which is inside and outside, that which is in the living and the non-living, that which is in the near and the far, why can't I experience it? That which is the irrefutable self. We just said consciousness is irrefutable. That was Descartes' great discovery. Cogito ergo sum. The one thing which cannot be doubted, that I exist. Even doubting it proves that I exist. Cogito ergo sum. So it is irrefutable self. At this point we might even stop a little. A question might arise. Yes, I exist. Right now, I grant you that. I can't doubt my own existence. But how do I know that I existed earlier? And how do I know I will exist later? I exist now, okay. I grant you that. It can't be doubted. It's very clear. Nothing is more clear than that. But how do I know I'll exist 20 years later, 30 years later? How do I know I'll exist 20 minutes later? And before I was born, I sort of know that I existed after being born, but before I was born, how do I know I existed? So before and after, in the flow of time, how do I know? So how do I know this existence? It might be just momentary. Right now, when I do exist, it's very clear to me. Although it's not clear to me when I'm asleep. So it's clear to me when I'm awake and you're asking me to take a look, it's clear to me, right now I exist. But how do I know I'll exist later? How do I know that I existed earlier? One should ask these questions. And the clarity will be very interesting. The answer. Here's the answer. It's like, I, the dreamer, the dream example. I, the dreamer, when I consider in the dream, if I feel, do I exist? Yes, I do exist. But in this dream, I don't know it's a dream. In the dream, suppose I ask this question. 20 years later or 20 minutes later, how do I know? The dream can continue. Maybe I won't exist. You as the person who knows it's a dream, you will laugh. I am here, but 20 minutes ago, maybe before my birth, how do I know I existed? In the dream. You who knows it's a dream, you will laugh. You will say it's impossible. The dream itself cannot exist. 200 years into the future, let it be 20,000 years in the future. If it's a dream, it cannot exist without you, the dreamer. 20,000 years before your birth in the dream. The guy in the dream, 20,000 years before that guy was born. You existed because it's your dream. The dream cannot exist. The time in the dream cannot exist. The past, present and future cannot exist without you, the dreamer. You will not die. The past will die. The future will die. You cannot die. See the dream example? Exactly the same claim is being made about this waking life. So it's irrefutable, but then that doesn't solve our problem. Irrefutable, my existence, eternal, irrefutable existence, inside and outside, in living beings, in non-living beings, far away, nearby, and yet I don't see it. Where? How strange. He says, it is unknowable because sūkṣhmatvāt, because it's subtle. It's subtler than the subtlest. What does it mean? It is something that cannot be seen. It can't be heard. It can't be tasted. It can't be touched. It can't be smelled. Brahman, ultimate reality, being itself, consciousness itself, is not an object of the five senses. All right, but can we express it in language? No. It cannot be expressed in language. Yad vacha anabhyuditam, which cannot be expressed in language. Why cannot not be expressed in language? I've discussed it a number of times. The five factors on which language operates. Jati, guna, kriya, sambandha, rudi. Class, quality, action, relation, and convention. I'm not going to explain. We have to enter into the philosophy of language then. None of these five factors are present in pure consciousness, in being itself. The only way of expressing it is not this, not this. So therefore language cannot grasp it, and therefore unknowable. Mind cannot grasp it. Why? Yan manasana manute yenahur manomatam. In Kena Upanishad it said, that which cannot be objectified, cannot be thought about by the mind, but by which the mind is illumined. Consciousness is that. Then, so mind cannot grasp it, language cannot grasp it, senses cannot grasp it, and therefore it is avijñeyaṁ, tadavijñeyaṁ. That is not knowable as an object. But we are all veteran Vedantins and say, yeah, that's easy to solve. There's a subject. Correct, you're right. That same Kena Upanishad, it says, it goes into so much detail that this one word Krishna uses, tadavijñeyaṁ, that is unknown or unknowable. That may be one word which expresses the whole, whatever is in the Kena Upanishad. It's all dialectics on that one word. What does it mean to be known and to be unknown? That which cannot be thought of by the mind, but by which the mind is illumined, know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. That which the eyes cannot see, but by which the eyes are illumined, know that to be Brahman, not what you worship here as this. That which the ears cannot hear, but by which the ears are able to hear, that you know as Brahman, not what you worship here as this. What is he talking about? The subject, pure consciousness. See, this question is important because what was the original question? How is it to be known? Geyam, Arjuna's question. And Krishna promised. Anadimat param brahma. He says, Geyam yattat pravakshyami. In verse number 12. What did he say? Geyam yattat pravakshyami yad gyatva amritam ashnute anadimat param brahma nasat nasaduchyate. What is to be known, I will tell you. This 12th verse, he starts that topic. So it is to be known. He admits it can be known. Otherwise he would have said there's nothing to be known. I mean, it is there, but it can't be known. But he says it can be known. What is to be known, I'm going to tell you that. And here in the 15th verse, he comes and says it is unknowable. Tad avijñeyaṁ, unknowable. What does he mean by that? Let us not lose hope. What he means is exactly the opposite of knowable. Not unknowable, more than knowable. Kena Upanishad itself, what is the final conclusion? Pratibodha viditam matam. In every experience it is revealed. Not as an object of that experience, as the illuminer, as the subject, as the underlying reality of that experience, as that one conscious. See, by what method will you be able to see the dreamer in the dream? No way. The eyes which you have in the dream, they cannot see the dreamer. The ears which you have in the dream cannot hear the dreamer. The dreamer can't be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, touched. It is inconceivable to the mind in the dream. But the dreamer is everywhere, in everything in the dream. And you, the person looking for the dreamer, you yourself are the dreamer, far more than anything else. The dreamer is known in the dream as the very consciousness by which dream is experienced, and as the existence of every dream object. The crucial thing here is, just I'll mention and then stop. See, just because a thing exists doesn't mean it can be known. We have said Brahman exists inside and outside. It exists in moving and unmoving. It exists far and near. All right, then why can't I see it? But the thing is, just because a thing exists doesn't mean it will be known or knowable. Then what does it take for something to be knowable? Well, first of all, it has to exist. But second, you need pramana, a source of knowledge, an instrument of knowledge, what philosophers will call an epistemological instrument, an instrument which will give you knowledge. And it must be the right kind of instrument. To see the flowers, I need eyes. The flowers are there, they exist, but if I don't use my eyes, I can't see it. It's there, but I can't see it. I open my eyes, I can see it. But it has a fragrance. The fragrance will not be evident to my eyes, only to my nose. So the pramana, source of knowledge for the fragrance of the rose is not my eyes, it's my nose. So to know a thing, you must have a pramana and an appropriate pramana. It's not enough that it is just there. So what is the appropriate pramana? Vedanta is that appropriate pramana for revealing Brahman to you, Atman to you. Careful here. Vedanta reveals Atman or Brahman to you, not that you need Vedanta to reveal Atman or Brahman. And here's a subtle point. What Vedanta? You need eyes to see the flower, but you actually don't even need Vedanta to realize that you are Brahman. Vedanta just removes the ignorance about Brahman. After you realize, oh, this is what they mean, you don't need Vedanta anymore. It's not like the eyes. After I realize, I see through the eyes, I can see the rose. Now I don't need the eyes anymore. Of course not. I can't see the rose anymore. But what is you yourself does not require any other further pramana. This is called swaprakasha, self-luminous. Once it's discovered, oh, this is what they mean. Vedanta gives us the way to realize it, pramana. The Vedantic teachings are the pramana. And the verses based on the Vedantic Upanishadic teachings, like these verses, these are the pramana. These will point it out to you, what is meant. And once we get it, then we don't need these verses. This is the only scripture and only religion in the world which says its highest, its greatest, its source scriptures are also no scriptures to the one who has become enlightened. You don't need these scriptures. Yatra Veda Aveda Bhavanti. Where they're so bold as to say, where the Vedas are no longer Vedas. You stand above the Vedas then, because you are that ultimate reality. Which is greater, Veda or Brahman? Brahman is greater. And you are that Brahman. Vedas will help you. Any doubt we have, we need a source of knowledge which will give us that knowledge, which will remove the ignorance in this case. And I will see for myself. Because that knowledge, that is always self-shining. It's self-revealing all the time. Then I will see in every experience it is revealed. The one who is dreaming after realizing, lucid dreaming, realizing that I am the dreamer, will say, I am experiencing the dreamer in everything that I experience in the dream. I am all of that. While seeing so much difference, there is no difference. There is no difference of same kind. There is no other dreamer here. There is no difference of different kind. The flower and the body and the path and the sky in the garden, they are all one. They appear different, but they are all one, the dreamer. And there is no difference of internal difference also. It's not these are all parts of me, the dreamer. No, they are all appearance. I, the dreamer, am one and undivided. Sajatiya, vijatiya, swagata, bheda rahita. Without any difference of three kinds of difference. That one consciousness I am. So this is the meaning of sūkṣhmatvāt tad avijñeyaṁ, because it's subtle. Not an object of senses, not an object of language, not an object of mind, but of course it is realized or known. It is known in every experience, in every sensory experience, in every mental thought, in every utterance of language. That, and this is a beautiful way of putting it, that which language cannot express. To the enlightened one, all language is a mantra which expresses Brahman. Every language is a mantra which expresses Brahman. Every word, even ordinary talk, it's a mantra for the enlightened one. It's continuously expressing one limitless existence, consciousness, please. Let me do the peace chant. We can take one or two questions. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Rupanamastu. You can get the basket also. There's a gentleman. Do you still remember your question?
I do, yeah.
Yes, please ask a question.
When you were speaking about Bahir bhūtānām, it kind of reminded me of the concept of Chidvilas.
Yes.
Would you be able to speak a little bit and maybe speak about Chidvilas a little bit? Because it did remind me of it, but it would be great if you can.
Yes, Chid Vilas. Vilasa means play. Yeah. Also, it means an expansion of. And this is not a play of consciousness, expansion of consciousness, Chid Vilas. The whole universe is the play of consciousness, expansion of consciousness. This is not a Advaitic or Vedantic concept. This is a Kashmiri Shaiva or Tantric concept. So, here's something subtle. Notice what I did. I played a trick on you. to prove that Brahman, consciousness, is inside and outside, is everywhere. It's all time is in consciousness, all space is in consciousness, all objects are in consciousness. I had to do one thing, which I didn't mention. I sort of relegated it to the footnotes. In order to do this, you have to say that the world, space, time, object, this universe is false, is an appearance. I mentioned the word appearance many times. That's why you notice I smoothly moved between the dream example and the waking example. Nobody objected, because you're all brainwashed into being Vedantins. But you should have said, common sense, that's true in a dream, Swami, nice example, but example is not proof. The waking world is real. There's real space. That one is really far away from you. This is near you. You can't say that this space is appearing in you, the consciousness. Here is real space, real time, real bodies. And in that you have a real consciousness. I'll grant you that. It's inside you. And this world is outside you. But Vedanta says, no. It's an appearance. Like a dream. Once you do that, it's very easy to see that as in a dream, the whole space in the dream, the whole time in the dream, and all objects in the dream are in the dreamer. It's very easy to show then that the dreamer is inside and outside, is in the moving and the unmoving, is far and is near. It's very easy because it's a dream. Are you with me now? But suppose you don't accept it. No, it's not unreal. It's not a dream. This is real. Dreams are dreams, but this is waking. This is real. This is real. Then how will you prove your precious consciousness is everything, Atman, Brahman, all of that? You can't do it without showing that it's an appearance. Only in an appearance, all right. But if it's real, there are ways around it. One way is taken by Tantra. Tantra says, yes, the world is real. Consciousness is real, and the products of consciousness. God is real. How dare you say, you non-dualists, you atheists, how dare you say that God is real and the creation of God is unreal? How dare you say that? God is real and the creation of God is also real. So according to Kashmiri Shaivism, the ultimate reality is Parashiva, is consciousness, is limitless consciousness. That sounds like Advaita. No, there's a difference. It says, Prakasha Vimarsha Swarupa, consciousness which is self-aware. The Kashmiri Shaivas will say, you non-dualists, your consciousness is no good. It's just awareness, and without names and forms, without objects, it's imperceptible. It's like the light here, it's there, but without the hand, you can't even experience the light. So suppose there is the consciousness by itself. It's just like not being there. He says, as good as a rock, stone. But our consciousness, which we talk about in Kashmiri Shaivism, consciousness actually has the power of self-reflection. Light shining, but also the awareness, I am light shining. I am light shining. This self-awareness is there. Shiva is aware of himself. And in this gap between Prakasha and Vimarsha, light and the self-reflexive awareness that I am consciousness or I am Shiva, this gap is the first emanation, space, air, fire, water. The whole of the universe is the vibration of Shiva, of consciousness. You can say it's the play of consciousness. It's not unreal. Consciousness vibrates from that ultimate reality as Shiva, as consciousness awareness, Prakasha Vimarsha, light aware of itself, not just light shining but aware of itself. Self-illumining, let's say. From there, it vibrates and it produces everything down to chairs and tables and rocks and plants. Everything is a vibration of Shiva, a play of consciousness. Chidvilasa. It's an amazing concept. Utterly wrong, of course. No, I'm saying logically. I'm not, because it's not so easy to dismiss such things. These are very profound truths and they have been realized by mystics. But what would be the objection here? What would be the objection? What would an Advaitin say? The Advaitin would say, can consciousness vibrate? This vibration in consciousness, is it something experienced or not experienced? If it is experienced, it's an object to consciousness. So it's an appearance in consciousness, the vibration. Just like our Maya. So consciousness does not vibrate. Just before this, Krishna said in the 14th verse, I think, he just said, Nirgunam guna bhoktricha. Without any attribute, no vibration. And it is the basis of all vibration, guna bhoktricha. In it appears, if you want to have a vibration theory of the universe, very good, you're welcome to it. We'll just say it's an appearance in consciousness. That's all we want. Being itself, existence itself, does it vibrate? Does it play? Or is vibration the play of being, the names and forms which appear in being? No. So, anyway, so that is Chidvilasa. That's the theory. And the thing is, if you look at the Kashmiri Shiva Sutras, for example, they give an extensive, very detailed account of how the entire universe is produced, really produced by the play or the vibration of consciousness. So all of this is real and it's all consciousness. And that consciousness in itself, in its real nature, is Shiva. And its downward manifestation from there, downstream, is all this. After all, the Ganga. Vedanta seems to say Ganga is just the glacier Gangotri. That's it. But Kashmiri Shaivism says it's the same Ganga down to the vast, slow, polluted river flowing past Calcutta, Belur Mutt. It is the same Ganga, which starts as a trickle in the mountains. Beyond that is the frozen glacier in the high mountains in Gangotri. Why are you just saying that it has to be the frozen glacier only? That will be their objection against the way we put it. Yes. I'll come to you and then we'll end. Yes.
So you mentioned consciousness, it needs to be still.
No, it doesn't need to be.
Okay.
Can it be other than still? Suppose it's not still. Consciousness moves, suppose, has changes. Suppose consciousness changes. Same logical, it will fall prey of the same logical, sword. This movement in consciousness, can it be experienced or not experienced? If it's experienced by what? By consciousness. So it's an object to consciousness. It's not the movement is not something that belongs to consciousness as such.
But stillness is itself also a state of...
Yeah. So as long as if it's a state of being, then it doesn't belong to consciousness. So consciousness itself is beyond stillness and movement, you can say. What we conceive of as stillness and movement are objects of consciousness.
Aren't they within consciousness?
They are within consciousness. Their appearances within consciousness. In contrast to movement, you say consciousness is still. But is consciousness still like an unchanging thing? No, that also is something that we conceive of in consciousness. So it's beyond all conception, you can say. To negate a proposition that consciousness vibrates, for example, Chidvilasa, they will show why it cannot be so. But then to negate what you said, being still, it's just like another state, like the ice in Gangotri and the flowing water and the ice, they're the same thing. So the ultimate reality is the ground on which stillness and change appear and disappear. In itself, what is it? Closest we can come is unchanging, not changing, but even unchanging as an alternative to change. That's not what is meant. For example, deep sleep seems to be a state of unchanging. Dreams and waking are states of changing. In Vedanta, the reality is the witness consciousness, with the witness to which all things appear and change and disappear into the so-called unchanging deep sleep. Yeah, in that sense. All of this might sound very mystifying, but the beauty of this is that you need to just check within yourself. Once you get the framework right, keep checking, you'll see, yeah, it's sort of pretty much obvious. It's effortlessly revealed to us. All the time. Yes.
So, when I go from here Friday evening, I do realize that I'm a knower. I'm also realized to be unconscious.
Hmm.
Next Friday I come here.
Hmm.
So my question is, so how do I keep that awareness that I'm in at all times, or as much as possible?
Yes, it's a good question. It's a question that we all face as spiritual practitioners. It's not just in Vedanta. It could be meditation. You can say that when I attend a retreat and my mind is calm after the retreat. After some time, by the time I'm on the freeway, it's a little less calm. By the time I reach home and see all the stuff that I have not done, it's a little less calm. By next week, I'm in the job and it's not at all calm anymore. So in every path, we feel the effect of that practice and the fading away, and then again you have to recharge yourself. So that's there. I remember I asked this question of a very great monk I met in the Himalayas. He was the attendant for Tapovan Swamiji, who was the guru of Chinmayanandaji. So this attendant, his Swamiji, his name was Sundarananda Swami. So I was sitting talking for a long time. He told me so many things, his decades and decades of practice there in Himalayas and his time with Tapovan Swami and all of that. And talking about my own spiritual life, and I had the same question. This was about in 2004, 20 years ago. And he said, first of all, he has a very hot temper. So he scolded me mercilessly for being, defeatist and for wasting time and not practicing hard enough. And then, after scolding, great encouragement. He said, inspiring. He says, after scolding, he says, let's see, chalo jo samay beet gaya wo anmol thi. Yes, precious time has been wasted. All right. Bhavishyat ujjwal hai. Your future is very bright. Be up and doing. You will attain God realization. And then you will attain to that state or that realization which is unfading. You will not then complain that it was there, but it has faded away. It's unfading. So like that. This is the practical side of it. You must work hard so that we all must work hard till we are satisfied that I found that peace which knows no decay. That being, that light which knows no dimming. It doesn't become dim anymore. It does not require any effort to keep it fresh. It does not require any Friday class to keep it fresh. Friday class is welcome. Totapuri, Sri Ramakrishna's Advaita Guru, used to meditate daily. Sri Ramakrishna once asked him that, why do you meditate daily? You are an enlightened person. You have realized Brahman. Totapuri said he was a wandering monk, so he had this brass pot, kamandal they call it, brass pot. He says, look at this pot. Unless I scrub it daily, it loses its shine. Similarly, unless I immerse this mind in Brahman, in my real nature, I merge the mind in myself, in my real nature, it will get affected by the world. So I found, yes, he does not deny this enlightened, but he says the practice has an effect. Traditional Advaita monks, they know this, so they keep up the practice all the time. Sri Ramakrishna had a reply to that. He said, but if it was a golden pot, you don't have to scrub it every day. So there comes a stage where you don't need it anymore. What is that state? I'll just give you a clue and we'll stop. The clue is this. I realized that I am awareness and everything else is an appearance to me. And today I realized even those things which appear to be are not other than me. I am limitless in that sense. Space, time, object, difference of the same kind, difference of different kinds, difference of inner difference. None of these is there in me. I'm just awareness. And there's nothing else. Mera koi dost nahi, dushman nahi, one sadhu said. I as awareness have no friends and no enemies. That means there is no friendly awareness next to me. An enemy means there's nothing other than awareness of a different kind. A non-aware thing. No. All is awareness. Though it appears like this, exactly like this it appears. I have realized that. Now tomorrow it will fade away. This thing will become a little confused. To whom? Isn't it to that same awareness? And then Monday it's more or less gone and I'm back to my old ways of behaving. That you experience. But what experience is it? That same awareness? That same awareness, would you not say if I've grasped it, I am that awareness, did this awareness change from Friday to Saturday to Monday? Or did the mind change? The mind changed. And this complaint, this is very subtle, this complaint that it's great today, tomorrow it's not so great, and Monday it will not be so clear at all. Who is complaining? Are you, the awareness, complaining, or is the mind complaining? It's the mind. It is the mind, I, the awareness, obscuring my nature as awareness, once again identified with the mind, I complain. The mind is so mischievous, it has passed a slip up to you. This is your complaint. Now I, the awareness, I complain. I am not awareness. What a fool the mind is making of me. Please say this, the mind is saying, this is what this is the problem. It's your problem, O mind, not mine. That restlessness, that confusion, which is the mind state, is also being seen by me, the awareness, which does not have that problem. When the mind loses that restlessness, when the mind loses that confusion, after Friday class, I am the same awareness which notices the mind full of Vedantic knowledge. And the same awareness on Saturday which notices the mind leaking the Vedantic knowledge slowly. And I am the same awareness which I have noticed the same confused mind. I am fine. Even when it does not seem that I am fine. Remember this. Even when it does not seem that I am fine, the fact is that you are fine. It's helpful to recognize it afterwards and get peace. If I don't recognize it, I will have no peace, but that's the mind. Even then, at a very existential level, it's great to know it's all right. It cannot be not all right. That's your nature. All right.